Hello, everyone. It seems AI has already become deeply embedded in our lives, and the tasks we assign to it now go far beyond simple question and answer interactions. Today, I'll show you what Autopilot, one of the parts of our extensive service, represents. It's difficult to specify Autopilot's exact capabilities because its flexibility is extremely vast. It's simpler to just demonstrate one of the real-world cases, which will certainly be just a drop in the ocean of possibilities, but will nevertheless provide understanding. Imagine you're a journalist preparing for an interview. You need to study a vast amount of information, visiting at least a dozen websites. Prepare interesting facts. Based on the obtained and analyzed information, compose questions. Using the same information, try to answer these questions to be able to catch the interviewee on incorrect responses. How long would this take? Several hours or more? I don't know, but I do know that Autopilot can do this in 4 minutes. Today, I'll show you how spending just half an hour once can create a mechanism available to every member of your organization, providing everything needed for a quality interview. Well, let's begin. It's worth mentioning that Autopilot's UI is needed exclusively for setting up automation. The actual interaction happens through other services. The main entity in Autopilot is a flow. It's a set of sequential steps, operations that are performed one after another. The first step is a so-called trigger. We'll launch this flow from our main dashboard service. The journalist will only need to enter the respondent's name or company name and can go grab a coffee if they can make it in 4 minutes. So, the first step is this trigger. In Dashboard, it will appear as a regular input. Let's name it in a way that makes it immediately clear what to write. Here, let's write this person's name. These are just test data needed, so we can simulate real data in the following steps. Now, let's test the step, and we get this result. The next step will be information search. I want to split it into 2 steps and use 2 different models. There's one nuance worth clarifying. Most likely, you, or rather your company, don't want your queries to become accessible to models like ChatGPT and similar ones. Therefore, here and further, we will be using self-hosted models. First, I want to get all the respondents' recent activity from the last 1 to 2 years. For this, I need a model that will retrieve data from the internet. I've prepared all the prompts in advance to avoid lengthening an already long video. I'll just mention that all these prompts were created using AI. Okay, this is the prompt I've come up with. Here I insert the value from the previous step. This will be the value that the journalist enters. Now let's test the step. We get a response. Here we can verify that there were internet queries. The latest data is presented, and there's also an array with websites where the information was sourced from. Okay, let's move forward. Now we're creating a step that won't use the internet anymore, but will be more focused on general information about the respondent. Here, I insert a different prompt that will allow me to get exactly what I want. We also insert the value from the trigger here and test the step. Next, I want these 2 responses to transform into something like an article that will be convenient for me to read to get an understanding of the respondent. For this, I'm also using Mistral and this prompt. We put the responses from the second and third steps here. Test this step and move forward. Next, I want to get the most interesting facts about the respondent based on all this information. We add a new step, select Mistral, insert this prompt. We insert values from previous steps and get excellent facts. Next, I'm adding a new step where we'll create questions for the respondent based on all the information we received earlier. I select DeepSeek, insert the prompt, and test the step. Look, all questions are structured. Excellent. Next, I want these questions to be answered, either from the internet or from the information we've gathered, or simply as an assumption. Well, let's select a model with internet access. Insert the corresponding prompt. Press test and see the result. The last step remains. We need to somehow see the final result in the dashboard. There's a plugin for this. In it, we add a field for each result we want to see. Give it a name and insert the value. Press test. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's also add a hint for each step so that in the future we understand what's happening in them. There, now it's definitely ready. Publish the flow. That's it. Now let's go to the dashboard. Here we see our flow. More precisely, the entry point. It's waiting for a name from us. Let's give it a name and press submit. An execution has appeared here. This is the flow execution process for a specific value. If we run the flow again with a different value, a second execution will appear. We'll see the steps being executed gradually, but for now, we can attend to other matters and return when the execution is complete. Well, we're seeing an action required status, so we click on the execution and arrive at the last step where all results are displayed. In total, we spent about 30 minutes creating this flow. It's available to all journalists in the company. All that's needed from a person is a name. And as a result, they get questions, answers, facts, an article, and websites. And its execution takes 4 to 6 minutes. Thanks for the watching. In upcoming videos, I'll continue showing Autopilot's capabilities and its ability to integrate with internal services.